Contract revocation of government. A call to all spiritual contracts that exist within my past, present, and future beings, selves, and existences in this dimension and time stream, all time streams above and below the earth-centric sine wave of coexistence. At this exact moment, in the ever-present co-created moment, I summon all DNA lineage ancestors to create a unified and proper spiritual court of equity so I may find remedy and resolve with all contracts that have inserted fine print during the pre-birth and birth process. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts that deal with all government personalities, elected and unelected. I revoke all spiritual contracts with all family crest-based government systems. I revoke all rights, duties, and responsibilities to all government entities that use my vote as a means of energy harvesting. I revoke all spiritual contracts with every senator, congressman, ambassadors, Supreme Court members, presidents, vice presidents, and all cabinet members. I revoke all spiritual contracts with every branch of government for all of my past, present, and future lives. I do not consent to the rule of the privileged few. I revoke all rights, responsibilities, assumptions, presumptions, and signatures that retain me within the entirety of any or all governmental organizations, family crests, sacred geometry buildings, monuments, memorials, or military bases. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with the corporate-run government. I do not consent to any form of corporate government that harvests energy from its people. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with the Federal Reserve families. I revoke all rights, assumptions, and responsibilities with every member of the Federal Reserve in exchange for value systems run by any government or corporate officials. I revoke all spiritual contracts hidden within our government exchange for value systems. I revoke all spiritual contracts with all government offices that use sacred geometry crests to retain power or insert fine print in soul contracts. I revoke all rights, privileges, powers, assumed and unassumed, consented and unconsented, with every federal law enforcement branch that uses Federal Reserve energy to support the system of domination and control. I revoke all spiritual contracts that create consent for the government committees that determine the quality of life. I revoke all rights, duties, responsibilities for all government systems that write laws that affect my spiritual contracts without my direct consent for my total DNA lineage ancestors, past, present, and future. I revoke all spiritual contracts that enable the government to use time travel as a means of domination and control. I revoke all rights and duties of all time traveler personalities, operations, systems, past, present, and future. I demand the immediate return of all government time travel personalities to their right and perfect timeline. I revoke all rights with all technologies that alter dimensions, manipulate time streams, or do harm to any sentient life forms coexisting on Earth in all timelines and dimensions. I do not consent to timeline wars. I do not consent to mass propaganda. I do not consent with war-based industrial complexes. I do not consent with the use of military to dominate and control. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts secretly interwoven into each and every law, past, present, and future. I do not consent to the passing of laws that affect soul family migrations, soul family immigration, or systems that prevent me from uniting my complete and total soul family. I demand the instant return of all my soul family that has been denied the right to coexist with me for all my past, present, and future selves. I revoke all rights, rules, and laws that define soul family on a 3D matrix level. I return all definitions of soul family to status to Earth Mother. I revoke all rights to label soul families with sacred geometry linguistics that cross dimensions or realities. I revoke all spiritual contracts with all forms of sacred geometry linguistics, past, present, and future. I do not consent to the use of sacred geometry linguistics as a means of energy harvesting. I do not consent to the use of sacred geometry cities, infrastructure, linguistics, or artwork for the purpose of domination and control. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts that enable the government to dominate and control all people on any timeline or dimension in Earth Mother's realms. I revoke all assumptions and presumptions of power and caste systems. I revoke all spiritual contracts that define sentient life as cattle or commerce. I do not consent to my life force being used for any purpose that does not heal Earth Mother and promote unity consciousness among all sentient kind living and coexisting within Earth Mother. I hereby declare that Earth Mother is now in dominion with me for all forms of global government, interpersonal relations, or galactic relations for all sentient kind existing and coexisting on Earth Mother's realms. I call forth all the ancestors to honor this reading of my free will and enter it into the Earth Akashic record for all sentient kind to understand our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times. So be it and so it is, so be it and so it is, so be it and so it is.